Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Analects of Confucius 5.7 with Mimi as our audience. Yeah. And so today we're talking about, this is more about Confucius's own frustration with how things are going in China at that time, in his time period. And we'll see how Zilu, one of his disciples, kind of reflect that frustration, I guess, or rather repel it. And without further ado, let's get started. I have to use my computer because I lost my book. 5.7, the master said, "If I cannot practice a proper way here in this world, then I shall take to the open sea and drift around on a bamboo raft. The person who will follow me would be Yo or Zilu." Zilu was overjoyed when he heard these words. The master said, "Yo or Zilu loves courage more than I, but where can I find the timber to build my raft?" The part that says, "if I cannot practice a proper way here in this world." So the the original text says 道不行. So 道 is like, Taoism, that's the same Dao, which means the way. And the way is just the proper way to live life. But this can be interpreted in two ways, one being external and one being internal, which is shown in this text. In external, it's just saying if the way does not prevail or if the way is not being practiced. So in this interpretation, Confucius is kind of being sad because his lifelong mission essentially failed because he couldn't get the leaders of his time to follow the way. And so this is basically putting the blame on the leaders themselves and how they're being really corrupted and using the state to their advantage and really not following the rules. And another part is internal. So if I cannot practice a proper way in this world, I guess. Okay, another way that you can look at it is that Confucius is essentially blaming himself because as a gentleman or the ideal person, his job is to restore the way, but apparently that hasn't worked. And so he's admitting that his own methods haven't been sufficient. So either way you're going to be looking at this, Confucius is being very pessimistic. So as a result, he wants to disengage from a world too corrupt to save and float around on the open sea. And he concludes that his only follower would be Zilu because he loves adventure and action and excitement over actually reflecting on things and, being wise, I guess. And Zilu is really delighted, really happy to hear this. And this actually only further proves Confucius's point. He doesn't hear the underlying sorrow and frustration that Confucius is expressing fundamentally, but he instead only hears, "let's build a raft and sail across the sea," which really just misses the despair that Confucius is trying to communicate to him. And also Confucius admits that Zilu has courage, and Zilu loves courage more than I, but where can I find the timber to build my raft? So essentially Zilu does possess raw courage, but you can't just have courage. You also need wisdom to use that courage effectively. So if you're only excited about building the raft, then you have to first decide where you're going to get timber from. And yeah, so that will be all today. And this is basically just Confucius lamenting about how corrupt the Zhou dynasty was at that time, and yes, it was falling, so that made sense. And also, because this is apparently the occurring theme of Book 5, Confucius is again judging one of his disciples, and I'm guessing that since he has a lot, we'll probably see this more often. And yeah, that will be all today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!